Hello everyone, welcome to an Everlight card game introduction, tutorial-ish, whatever you might call it. I'm here today with my friend Faiz, who is also a co-designer. And we are going to be playing a game, or a round, of Everlight. So, as we've spoken before in the previous tutorials, our game comes with two sets of cards. That is the character cards, that you have these large card size, and the mini size cards, which are the knowledge cards. Knowledge cards goes to your hand, and the character cards go onto the grid, as we've talked about before. So, to start the game, we're going to choose 4 characters of our choice, and then we're going to start arranging them discreetly in front of us. There you go. I'll do that, and that. Right, so we're going to start rolling initiative. Who gets to go? That is a 3 against my 4.
Yes.
I'm really good at these. I win these all the time. I'm going to reveal mine. And I've decided to play Peter in the middle, Zanya on the sides, Kane on the in the middle, and Vorn and a little bit of extra space, because I think you know why.
Me, I decided to play Serbia on the right side, Tulip right in the middle, Vestrand also near in the middle, and my Bannerman right in the corner.
Great. Now we get to draw 5 cards each into our hand. So just to count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get to draw. Can I get a nice shot of that, or lower, right there.
Lower. That's good. Yeah, that's your second line.
Great. So I get to go first, and thankfully enough, I have the card that I need. So Vorn here, he has a very special ability. He gets to call for some cultists, but instead of calling for cultists this round, I am going to use a knowledge card as my first action. And it says, discard X cards from my hand, so I'm just going to discard 1, and place a number of allies named Angry Mob onto the deployment row equal to the number of cards discarded. So again, I'm just going to discard 1 card. And if you can hand me a Angry Mob token card or ally card, and they get to show up here. So these guys, if they're adjacent to one of your enemies, you are not allowed to attack anyone else except for an Angry Mob. Great, so that is my knowledge action. I'm going to move forward once so I can activate his passive ability, because as a bonus action, I get to discard a card worth 2 spheres. So I can call forth my cultists. So I don't know if you noticed, but Peter's ability, or Peter's card, is more of a gang up on you with a lot of little mini minion cards.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we didn't get to talk about Tulip a little bit.
Okay.
So Tulip, you designed her specifically. So could you talk a little bit more about what kind of cards or gameplay that you can expect from her?
Okay. Well, designing Tulip in the mind with the intention of having movement is her key ability. So she does buff up her allies and give them additional movement, and she tends to be a spell slinger.
Great. So there's a lot of card movements, a lot of tactical placement for the cards itself. That's great. I've pretty much done everything I could, so I'm just going to tap Vorn because he's done.
I would have to use. I will move Seville 1, 2, and that's just it.
Okay. So in this game of Everlight, we've talked about attacking chains and defensive chains, how the closer you are to your allies, the stronger you are. So putting Cerevel there in a position where she's vulnerable is going to turn out pretty bad for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate Peter, just to show you guys, because I wouldn't usually do this on the first round. But I'm going to do it now. I'm going to play this card, Swift Maneuver. It basically allows you to put a card here, and as a movement action for Peter, he can be placed anywhere adjacent to Swift Maneuver. And you can even do it on a character card like that. So for that, I'm going to move Peter here. And Peter, who has an attack value of 4, will fight against Cereval's defense of 1. So that is a combat action. You have a chance to react to that. You can use a knowledge card to attack, or to react to that, sorry.
To react. I will definitely react, and I would like to use Brace. It adds +1 to my defense.
And I will react to that with Throw Missile, which is a -1 to your defense. So
It cancels out.
it cancels out.
Yeah.
So the 4 against the 1, so 4 minus 1 is 3 damage to Cereval, which is lethal, I believe.
Yes, so it's lethal.
So that puts her out to the death row, right? So that puts you in the first chain of death row. And just to recap on what death row is, they move along the death row until they permanently move to the graveyard. You can use a character's combat action to revive a character, but you have to pay for the cost of their HP, which is 3 for Cereval, with the cards in your hand.
Correction, it's 2.
Oh, it's 2. It's 2. Oh, okay, I didn't need that to throw missile.
Yes.
All right, just in case. Great. So that moves her. That's her turn. His turn. You get to go next.
I guess in my turn, I'll demonstrate how to revive an ally during the death throw.
Yeah.
You choose one of your allies, your heroes, and in this case I choose Necro-Off, and I activate him, and I do need to pay a cost equivalent to health.
Right.
And I'll just use Inspiring Leader, which has a cost of 2.
Right.
And because Server is a 2 health hero, I can
Revive her immediately
in the deployment zone.
in the deployment row. So she does get revive tapped, which means she's already acted. So this is really important. Strategic-wise, you might want to think about reviving your characters before the round ends, because if you do it at the start of the round, they go a whole round of not activating. So that's very important, but at the cost of your own resources in hand. So a lot of thinking needed to be done in order to outweigh the costs, the economics of being able to play a knocked out character. Great. I've got 4 more characters to go. I'm just going to position them in a way that's going to just piss you off. So I'm just going to go and move Zanya, who has a movement value of 2. 1, 2, and I'll end her turn there.
In this case, because Tulip has not used her ability yet,
Right.
she will use her +1 movement to the strength, giving him a movement of 3.
Great.
So he will beeline for your hunter. And he will attempt to attack.
Okay, so that's a 2 attack against Kane's 2 defense. I'm just gonna keep that. I forgot to mention, by the way, because Cereval was knocked out, I do get 2 points, so I'm just gonna do that. You get 2 points for knocking out a hero, 3 points for knocking out a champion, but if you manage to knock out one of these allies, it's a single point.
It's a single.
Yeah.
So it does consider for future cases, consider like minions are like 1 point.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's something. Once you get more points, you go into the lead. But keeping in mind, if your enemy gets more points, it only means a good thing for you because you get to have an exalt. Great. So you're done there? You're not playing any cards?
No. Nope.
So that is tapped, yeah?
Yes.
Great. Make your life a little bit more difficult. I'm just going to put that there. And tap that. So in the future, if Vestrin wants to attack, he needs to attack the angry mob first.
So for simplicity's sake, I'll just totally go front and attack.
All right.
Zanya
So
for
Tulip has
3.
a attack value of 3 against Zanya's 2. I've got nothing. So I'm just gonna take that. So I'm just gonna put 1 marker here, 1 damage marker, to represent her life. There you go.
Yep.
And I've got 2 more characters to go. I'll set it up for next round. 1, So there's basically 2 characters like flanking Vestrand here. So that should be good. And my turn. And my last guy, just gonna bring up the line a bit more forward, make the board seem a little bit smaller to you. So that's the end of the round. I forgot to mention that Peter actually has a fire counter. So at the start of every round, he gains 1 fire token. I'm just gonna leave that there just to remind me that when the exalt happens for us, I get to use this fire token as a damage dealer to your enemies. At the end of the round, we have the option to discard all or any of our knowledge cards, and then keeping in mind we can only draw up to 5 in the next round. You have 2 cards in hand, 3 cards in hand. So are you going to keep any?
I'm gonna discard all of them.
You're going to discard all of them. Okay, so you discard all the cards, keep drawing 5 next round. I have no cards in hand. I've used up all of them just to gain power. So I will also draw 5 at the start of the round. So that's basically a round of Everlight being played. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll try to record a full game next time, but this was a means of showing you guys how a game is usually played. So thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.